Today, we're talking about the sleep learning myth. Can you really learn English while you sleep? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Let's find out.
Liam, be honest with me. Can people really learn English while they sleep? Or is this sleep learning thing just a myth?
It's a myth, Emma, and people want to believe it because learning English feels exhausting and frustrating. They're not lazy, they're just tired of trying hard and not feeling confident when they speak.
Wow, that hurts because it's true. People study for years and still freeze when they need to talk. Is that why this idea sounds so attractive?
For sure, because it promises fluency without effort or mistakes. But fluency doesn't come from rest, it comes from active connection while you're awake.
So listening to English while sleeping doesn't help at all?
It helps only if you already practiced during the day. Sleep organizes what you used. It doesn't create new speaking ability by itself.
Interesting. So the real problem isn't memory, it's speaking access, right?
Right. Most learners know a lot but can't access it fast enough. That's why they translate in their head and lose confidence.
That's me. I know what I want to say, but it comes too slow. Does sleep learning fix translation?
No, because translation disappears only when you practice reacting out loud. Your brain must learn English as sound, not as text.
So that's why passive learning feels safe but doesn't change anything.
Yes, passive learning feels comfortable but keeps you stuck. Real progress feels a little uncomfortable at first.
Wow, then what should people do instead of hoping sleep will do the work?
They should practice short spoken reactions every day. Even 5 minutes of speaking beats hours of silent exposure.
But people want to sound perfect, especially at work. Doesn't that make it harder?
Much harder, because perfection slows the brain. Confidence comes from simple, natural phrases used again and again.
Can you give an example of that?
Instead of building long sentences, native speakers use chunks like "got it," "exactly," or "let me check." These come out automatically without thinking.
Interesting. So that's why natives sound fast and relaxed.
For sure, they're not thinking about grammar, they're reacting. Sleep learning never trains reaction.
So listening at night is useless if I don't speak during the day?
Yes, because your brain has nothing to reinforce. Practice creates the path, sleep only strengthens it.
Wow, that changes everything about how I see studying.
That's the shift most learners need. Less studying, more speaking.
So even people who live abroad can struggle if they don't actively speak, right?
Exactly. Exposure alone doesn't rewire the brain for speaking. Without daily reaction, English stays passive.
Wow, that explains why some learners understand everything but feel blocked in conversations.
Yes, because understanding lives in the head, not in the mouth. Fluency only grows when speech becomes automatic.
And is that why sleep learning sounds so tempting to them?
Yes, because it avoids discomfort. But avoiding discomfort also avoids progress.
Interesting. So the real enemy isn't lack of time, it's avoiding speaking.
Yeah, most learners have time, but use it silently. Silence never trains confidence.
That hits hard because silence feels safe.
It does, but safety keeps the brain unchanged. Growth needs small pressure.
So when people listen at night hoping to wake up fluent, what are they missing?
They're missing active use during the day. Sleep can't strengthen a path that was never used.
Wow, so the brain needs proof before sleep can help.
Yes, proof through speaking. The brain trusts action more than intention.
And what kind of speaking actually works for busy adults?
Short, simple reactions. Not speeches, not presentations, just natural responses.
Like what, for example?
Reacting with, I see. That makes sense. Or, let me think. These are real-life chunks.
Interesting. So chunks reduce thinking time.
Exactly. Chunks skip translation. They come out as sound, not text.
So when learners build sentences word by word, they slow everything down.
Yes, that's why they hesitate. Their brain is busy assembling instead of communicating.
Haha, and then confidence disappears.
Right, because confidence needs speed. Slow speech creates doubt.
So sleep learning doesn't create speed at all.
No, speed comes from repetition while awake. Sleep only helps organize what already moved.
Wow. Then listening without speaking is like watching exercise videos without moving.
Perfect analogy. Your body doesn't get fit by watching, and your mouth doesn't get fluent by listening only.
And why do people still defend sleep learning so strongly?
Because it protects them from failure. If fluency depends on sleep, they never have to try.
That's deep. So fear is part of this myth?
Very much. Fear of sounding wrong keeps people silent.
And silence keeps translation alive.
Exactly. Because translation lives in the thinking stage. Speaking breaks that cycle.
So if someone wants to stop translating, what's the first habit to change?
They must answer questions out loud, even alone. Thinking answers doesn't count.
Wow, even alone makes a difference?
Yes, because the mouth learns before the mind trusts. Speaking trains reflex.
Interesting. And what about grammar mistakes?
Mistakes are necessary signals. They show the brain what sounds natural over time.
So perfectionism is another trap.
A big one. Perfection delays action.
And delay feeds the hope that sleep will fix everything?
Exactly, because sleep feels productive without risk, but it doesn't build skill.
So, how should people actually use listening at night?
As reinforcement, not as a solution. Listen to what you already practiced speaking.
That feels much more realistic.
Because it is. Real learning is simple, not magical.
And in professional English, does this change anything?
It changes everything. Professionals need clarity, not complexity.
So short phrases sound more confident in meetings?
Yes, phrases like, I agree, good point, or let's do that. Simple equals strong.
Wow, that sounds much easier than what people usually try.
Because learners confuse formal with complicated. Native speech is efficient.
So sleep learning also reinforces that confusion?
Yes, because it avoids real interaction. Interaction teaches tone and timing.
Timing seems important.
Very important. Confidence lives in timing, not vocabulary size.
Interesting. So fluency is more about rhythm than knowledge?
For sure. Rhythm comes from speaking often.
And that rhythm can't be learned while sleeping.
No. Rhythm lives in action. Sleep only supports patterns already formed.
So, what would you say to someone still hoping for a shortcut?
I'd say shortcuts delay progress. Small daily effort moves you forward faster.
That's ironic, but true.
Learning often is. The simple path works best.
So, if someone starts speaking 5 minutes a day, what changes first?
Confidence, not grammar. They feel less afraid to open their mouth.
And that confidence reduces translation?
Yes, because fear fuels translation. Calm creates flow.
Wow, so emotional safety matters too?
Very much. The brain learns faster when it feels safe to try.
So, the myth of sleep learning removes fear, but also removes growth.
Exactly. It feels safe, but keeps you stuck.
Okay, let me check my understanding again. Sleep doesn't teach English, but it supports what I practice actively.
Perfect understanding. Speaking builds the path. Sleep strengthens it.
And fluency comes from using chunks, not building sentences.
Yes, chunks create speed and confidence. Speed creates flow.
And flow is what people think fluency is.
Exactly. Flow feels natural and relaxed.
Wow, this really changes how I see learning English.
That mindset shift is the real breakthrough. Methods only work after that.
So, the final message is to stop waiting for magic and start speaking daily.
Exactly. Fluency is built through use, not hope. Daily speaking beats any myth.
That makes me feel more in control.
And control builds confidence. Confidence builds fluency.
Thank you for breaking this down so clearly.
My pleasure, Emma. This confusion is more common than people think.
So, the final message is to stop waiting for magic and start speaking daily, right?
Exactly. Fluency is built through use, not hope. Daily speaking beats any myth.
But why do so many people understand English and still freeze when it's time to speak?
Because of something called the brain rot effect. When you consume English all the time but rarely use it, your English isn't broken, it's underused.
Wow, that explains why learners feel stuck even after years of study.
Yes, passive input trains comprehension, not response. Fluency grows when your brain learns to react.
So, it's not about studying more or learning new grammar rules.
No, it's about activating what you already know through real use. Speaking turns knowledge into skill.
That makes me feel more in control of my English.
And control builds confidence. Confidence builds fluency.
What if someone feels this is exactly their situation?
Then the next video is for them. We break down the brain rot effect and show how to stop mental translation and start speaking naturally.
So this is the next step after understanding the sleep learning myth.
Exactly. Click the next video, stop the brain rot, and start using your English for real.
See you there.
Bye!